music. I got no sound. You know, I wish I could get the camera to go. Why can't I do that? That would be fun, wouldn't it? I need an overlay that's just a blur. There's a mosquito. I know that looks weird. Leave page. Yeah, I know that was loud. Sorry. I've got too many things open. Oh, mercy. Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. You know, one of those days slash weekends slash whatever that don't seem to work. Everything seems broken. I don't know why my scrolling ticker isn't scrolling anything. I had a great weekend. It involved a heck of a lot of testing and problems and learning. Pardon me. But I will continue to tell you, this is contest tip of the week. If you're running a small business and you're not running contests, you should be. So, let's see if anything works. I did not test any of this before I started. Let's see if this works. Does that work? Nothing is freaking weak. Look, that one came up. Yay! Oh, mercy. So here's my tip after this weekend. And normally what I would do would be to encourage you to build your business, which I am going to do. But it's been such a bizarre weekend. And I've had so many problems with stuff that here's my tip. And I'm laughing because I know nobody wants to do it this way. But if you're building a contest, if you're building a campaign with upviral and you've never built one ever before, don't do a widget. Don't do an upviral campaign where you're using a widget as your tool. And I know upviral sells this as a great feature. It is a great feature. But I probably spent, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours this weekend fighting and fighting and fighting with getting a widget to work on a client's website. It's a pain in the patukas if it doesn't work right. If it works right the first time, it's great. But Lord, let me tell you, if it doesn't work, no offense to the upviral folks, in our case, we were using WordPress as the website, and the client is used. Pardon me. Maybe I swallowed that mosquito. Clients using a landing page builder inside of WordPress called Elementor, which I think comes from Thrive Themes. And long story made short, the thing we finally discovered, because we went all the way back to, let's just build a page and see if we can get the widget to work. And it worked. And then we said, let's build a page that's an Elementor page and put the widget in it, and it worked. And we were like, okay, what's wrong with this other page that has multiple paragraphs and images and stuff? And we ended up deleting all that stuff. And lo and behold, we found that the widget, the upviral widget, works if it's the first thing on the page inside of an Elementor page, which kind of rearranged our thinking a little bit. But we at least figured out what the problem was. Go ahead and let me know if you're here. We figured out what the problem was, but it took us hours and hours and hours to figure that out. Now I know when I'm building an Elementor thing not to do it that way. I had somebody pinging me to join a meeting that I'm not ready for. I absolutely love upviral, but sometimes. So, backing up, if we had built this as an upviral landing page, then we wouldn't have spent hours and hours over the weekend trying to get it to work. Let me know if you're here. Type in a comment so I know people are here. I keep seeing people go in and out, but Facebook doesn't let me know who's here. I'm broadcasting through Restream on YouTube and Periscope, so I don't know where all y'all are. If you're running a contest, let me know. If you're not running a contest, let me know. If you're not building your email list, let me know, because I would love to help you fix that problem. Now, the other interesting thing about this particular campaign that I'm building for a client is that it is breaking out of the mold of... Frank's here. Hi, Frank. Thank you for commenting. This campaign actually has 4 pages. Now, normally an upviral campaign or a contest of any tool is either a 1-page landing page and then a widget, or 2 pages where there's a landing page where they sign up and then the widget to share. That's the normal process, especially if you're inside of upviral. But this particular campaign, we have 4 pages. And the first page is a sales page. The second page is a cart page, because the first page is a 5-day challenge. In order to get on the 5-day challenge, you got to pay $55. So the second page is a cart page. The third page is an upsell page. If you want the recordings and the extra bonus materials and stuff. So there's a bonus page. And then finally, the last page, page number 4, is where the upviral sharing widget shows up. And we announce the contest, and we tell people what they could win. Hey, Sally, here's what you can win. I didn't think this was possible, really realistically possible before. But in the last 2 or 3 weeks working with this client, I was able to prove the process by building my own test campaign. And then we learned a whole bunch of stuff along the way, and we finally gotten it to work. So there's the, hey, we're running a challenge, sign up, and by the way, we're going to do a giveaway. Number 2 is pay for the challenge. Number 3 is, oh, by the way, if you want to upgrade, here you go. And it's a 1-click upgrade. And then the 4th page is the sharing widget. Didn't think it was possible, but it is. But it also, like I said, took, I don't know, over the weekend, I probably spent 8 to 10 hours trying to debug all the pieces. And it was a royal pain in the batukas. But I really wanted to make it happen for the client. And I really wanted to be able to have this as a case study going forwards. Now, those people who become a member By the way, I think I mentioned I know I mentioned it. Last week I mentioned that I am opening up what I'm calling the Movers Mastermind. And the people that are in my Movers Mastermind are going to get a very detailed breakdown of how this process works and what I've learned along the way. This is not something I will be sharing openly as a how-to for a very long time. It will be exclusive for my members. If you have an interest, I'm going to see if this button works. There it is. Go to that page, giveawayrocket.com/join, and have a look at what the offer is. 20 members only is what we're looking for at the beginning, because we're going to test out the process. And then the price is going to increase. So that's where you go if you want to find out more. giveawayrocket.com/join. Rita asks the question, what platform are they on? The client that I'm working with is running on WordPress, which is a whole nother topic. If we weren't using WordPress and we were using something like ClickFunnels or something else, it would have been a totally different battle. But I believe the same process would work in something like ClickFunnels. I just haven't done it yet. This was the first chance I've had to build this process. You're welcome, Rita. Happy to have you pop in and ask questions. I love helping people figure these things out. Sometimes I get very frustrated. It's also a little challenging because the client's in Australia. So there's this whopping 12-hour time difference between us and them. So that can make it very challenging when you're trying to get stuff done. Either one of you has got to be staying up in the middle of the night or waking up early, it seems. But that's the fun challenge of multiple time zones. I have also been pinged this morning by somebody who has a widget process that they're building in, I don't know what tool yet, and they can't get it to work. So they're coming to me because they need help getting it to work. And there is another tip there, and I've mentioned this before. Inside of upviral, there is a custom domain process. 95% of people that are building a campaign inside of upviral as upviral hosted pages will use the custom domain. If you are using a third-party tool, you really, really, really don't need, except for a small number of cases, a custom domain. And the only reason you would use that is if you want the referral links to have your domain in them. Most people don't seem to care one way or the other, but it also can be a bugaboo to get set up if you don't know how to do it properly. And I think that's probably what's happened in this particular customer's case. So my advice, my tip of the day still is, if you are doing anything with upviral, if you could possibly help it, don't use a widget until you really know what you're doing, especially if you're on a deadline, because frankly, unless it works perfectly the first time, and it does happen, I have seen people create a widget and build the process and go, oh, that works fine. But I've also seen people that have failed miserably. The tools don't connect, and as Rita says, the less tech, the better. You're right. And AJ is here. AJ, by the way, is one of my first movers. He joined the movers last Friday when I announced it. So welcome, AJ. I need to have a superstar thing. Here's congrats for AJ, because AJ has joined the movers and he's here. So the main plan with the movers, by the way, is that what we're going to do is we're going to have group coaching at least once a week, if not more. Initially, I don't, there could be some time zone issues. There's going to be group coaching. I'm going to review your campaigns for you. So it's going to be kind of almost like working one-on-one. But we're also going to have 20 people in the group to be able to bounce ideas off of each other. Because guess what? Even though I know a lot of stuff, I don't always know everything. So there's a chat room, there's a Facebook group if you want to go into Facebook, and there's going to be some really good working together stuff to build your business, and we probably will talk about other things than just contests. But I really, really want to get people more involved with their stuff and having people to work with, as opposed to people just out there struggling on their own. And so that's primarily what the goal of the movers is. I currently am in a similar program called the Dream 100 that Paul Pruitt is running. And Paul has some awesome expertise in helping people build their business. He's created multiple $1-million businesses and done a heck of a lot of marketing. And so I joined that mastermind in order to be able to understand better and have somebody to hands-on. There are a lot of entrepreneurs like me that don't have any help. They're out there struggling by themselves, especially with the concept of the contests. Contests are brilliant if you know what you're doing. And, UpViral has the co-pilot show that I'm doing every Tuesday, by the way. Tomorrow is going to be called 7 Ways to Use UpViral to Build Campaigns That Aren't Contests, although one of them obviously is a contest. And I still have to finish all of my slides for that. But the key, it's I liken it to Facebook ads because a lot of people have done Facebook ads and recognize that you don't just run your first ad and it's a multi-million-dollar success, right? You gotta struggle through the learning process, and the more you have people to help you through that, which is why people buy courses and get into Facebook masterminds and all that kind of stuff, to be able to grow. I know people that spend $1,000, $2,000 on Facebook ads courses or more. These things aren't easy to do on your own, as much as the vendors want you to believe that. The other one, do you guys know T-ball? You know T-ball at all? So for little kids, right, the really young kids that want to play baseball, they don't have the skills for catching and throwing and hitting. It's really sad to put a group of 5-year-olds out on a baseball field and try to get a pitcher to pitch the ball over the plate. It just doesn't happen, right? And even when you get to elementary school and finally up to high school, you finally start having the skills. So they put a tee out there. They put a stick with a ball on it and say, you go hit it. That's where you're starting when you do stuff like this. You got to start somewhere. You got to have the basics. You got to understand how to hit the ball. You got to understand to run to first base, not to third base, that kind of stuff. You don't know how to play baseball instinctively without learning the process. You don't know how to do Facebook ads. You don't know how to do contests correctly. And it's taken me 6 years. I've built over 100 campaigns, brought in over 250,000 leads in my own account. Highly targeted leads, let me put it that way. So I have the skills to help you build your campaign the right way and to shortcut the process for you. You don't have to take 6 years to learn it like I did. So that's why I have opened up the Movers program, the Movers Mastermind. I keep toying with different names, which is why I smile about it. I called it Movers because I want people to move. Simple. It's not, the other program I just mentioned was the Dream 100, right, that I'm in with Paul Pruitt. I don't want it to be a dream. I want it to be reality. I want you guys to move. Those people, Lenny, by the way, Lenny is here. Bless your heart, Lenny. Lenny is one of my founding members. I started a membership a year and a half ago and did not serve my people well, but Lenny is one of the founders, and he is going to be in the movers as well. Because Lenny was the founder, he's grandfathered, and he gets access to all kinds of stuff. Ryan is here. Bless your heart. A rocket also moves. Ryan, I want you in this program as well. And I've had you on my list to go talk to about, because I think you would be perfect for this. The question is, if you already know how to run contests, why would you join? There's a whole lot to learn in this process, and I've been doing it for 6 years. This is not just for beginners. This is not, a beginner can join. A beginner will get help from me. A beginner will get my previous training that they could go through all on their own. But what I want them to do, I want you, everybody who joins, to do something. I want you to move. I want you to be a rocket. Thank you, Ryan. A rocket moves. I could be Rocketeers, but then, see, them people kind of... Anyway, movers is simple. I want you to move. I want you to move off the stick. I am raising my hand. You see this? This is my hand. I'm raising it because I have struggled getting moving. I've told people over the last year I was going to launch my membership, and I kept saying I'm going to wait until it's perfect and ready to go. And I finally just said last week, Monday last week, I set a goal. I said, by the end of the week, I'm going to just frickin' launch it. It's not perfect. It's not ready. It's nowhere close. But the first 20 people that are in, like AJ, bless your heart, AJ, and Lenny is in, and several other people that are founders are in, and who else? Oh, Tim. Tim is in. Tim paid Friday. So I want you guys to move. I had done the Win Together program and the Win Now program. I've done all those things before, and people loved them. And the goal was to take action, but often people didn't take action. So my goal here is there's a bit of accountability as well. Once you're coming in here, I want you to be moving. And it's okay to just sit back and listen and eventually move. I've been in the Dream 100, for example, for 4 months now, and I've just been, you can come to the calls and see what other people are doing. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to ask any questions, but it's often very cool. I have a Post-it, and I've lost the Post-it. I thought I had it over on the wall. My friend Tom, my mentor Tom, taught me to look at what other people are doing and say, how does this apply to me? And I go to the Dream 100 calls, and I often just sit there and listen and take notes and absorb. And the more I absorb, the better my business is becoming, because I'm figuring out things, looking at what other people are doing, especially the ability right now inside the movers to be able to look at, let's say Ryan comes on board. Let's say Ryan comes on. I'll say it again. Let's say Ryan comes on board. And Ryan's working on campaigns, and he's like got this specific question on, well, what do you think I should do for this? What's a good prize? Should I offer a prize? Should I offer custom actions? Guess what? You can come bounce ideas off of people. And yes, I know there's a Facebook group, but you know how hard it is to get people to interact. Imagine being on a call where there's 10 people, and you say, hey, what do you think about this? Auto-suggestion, Rita says. Not totally sure I understand what that reference is, too. Because, there's this delay on Facebook. When does it start? Yesterday. Right now. It is going on this week. I have not yet, because I told you Friday, I just started. I have not yet published the schedule for this week. But I will have my first group call this week. I will be putting out training for people this week. I will be talking specifically about this campaign with the 4-page process. this week. So it starts now. You can join anytime, but the first batch is only going to be 20 because I don't want it to get so big. It would be ideal if I could get 100 people in. I'd be ecstatic. But I don't yet know that I can serve 100 people at one time. So what I want to do is start slowly, first couple of months, figure out what's working. You guys help me build that out because I'll tell you, the Dream 100 program that I'm in is $400 a month. I believe the value of being in a program like this is exceptional because I am gaining so much. I'm asking questions when I get on the Dream 100 calls. It's awesome value, which is why I've decided to do this one this way. I was originally going to do a membership where it would just be like training. You could watch the training whenever you wanted. You could get in and do training on how to build a better plan, how to do this and how to do that. But having been in this Dream 100 program from the Pruitt family, I see now that a virtual hands-on is so much more productive for everybody that's involved, and they all love it. There are people that are just like clamoring. Paul and his wife, Melissa, they only let 2 new people in a month, right? They don't want a whole flood of people coming in. Granted, they're charging a significant amount of money, but they just don't want, it's not about the money. It's about the help. It's about getting people to build their business and to help them grow. And I think they have 30 or 40 people. Not everybody shows up to the call. Maybe they can't show up this week or that week or whatever. But the key is it's starting now, this week. Because I want to get you guys busy. I want to get you guys to do what? Yes, that's right. The key word is move. Eventually, I'll put a Movers 100 or something on there, some number like the Dream 100 is. And the cool thing about it is, I can give you access to all of my stuff. As I learn things, I'm starting to make much better notes. Today, I have added 3 tips in my tip database from lessons I've learned just today, and it's only 10:25. I'm not going to be sharing all those tips for everybody on the planet anymore. I got to feed my family. But the key to it is that you will be much more successful if you work with people. And I have learned that because I've been working at home and I have been sucking on my own business. It's been not as productive as I could be. And once I joined the Dream 100, and by the way, Paul and his wife have said, look, here's our program. Here's the materials that we have used. I used some of those materials in generating that landing page that you're going to jump on, Reeta. They are so open and so sharing. And last month they were involved in selling a product for somebody else as an affiliate. And they laid out everything they were working on, their schedule, their dates. Schedule and dates are kind of redundant, aren't they, Bench? The landing pages they were building and that kind of stuff. So people that are inside the Movers program will see what I'm building, and then we'll see what everybody else is building. So it's not just about me, it's about what you guys are doing. Lenny, I haven't read this whole thing. Lenny says, people need to take action so they have questions. Exactly right. It's impossible for Mitch to tailor all of the learning styles. He's certainly doing better documenting, and great things are happening. Thank you, Lenny. I'm going to move this up a bit. But his one-on-one time, his offering is a steal. Let's go. And Lenny, bless your heart, thank you very much for the recommendation, and there's your tip for the day. It's $1. But Lenny has been very enthusiastic, and he's excited to get started. And again, bless your heart, Lenny, for sticking with me over the last year and a half, where I struggled in my own business. I'm going to turn my fan on because it's getting a little warm in here because I talk so much. So that's what I'm working on. Reeta, bless your heart, let me know if you have any questions. I will happily answer questions. You can always get me on Facebook Messenger. That's where I tend to hang out the most. I have 2 people that have pinged me during this call already. And I am going to limit to 20 people this session because, like I said, I want it to be small and intimate and helpful. That's the key. I'm not going to charge you an arm and a leg this session. And the price will go up because the value, I believe, I know, will be well worth more than what I end up charging you. And to some degree, you know, I have done, I'll go back and say, I've done programs that were dirt cheap. I have done programs that were, I've done free ones. I've done ones that have a decent cost, but the people that spend more are more likely to be active. And so, yes, I want to make some money. I need to feed my family, like I said. I'm just like all of you. I want to see you have success, but I also have to have some of my own success in being able to provide for my family. So that's why I've started this. I've finally gotten off my butt to do it, and I want to help make you a success in your business. The other thing I always am saying is that this is a, come on, there it is. This is a marathon, not a sprint. We are not taking our time. I see so many people run a single contest and then disappear. And it works. Do not get me wrong. It works. I have several case studies of people that do it only once a year, right? The Bunky guy that is a case study for upviral, he only does his campaign once a year. But this year he brought in over $800,000 in sales in his campaign. Brought in over 100,000 leads on his campaign. I was going to go show you something else, and now I've forgotten what it is. Lenny says, I like this too. If we aren't failing, we are too comfortable. And I have been way too comfortable for a while. And I have been failing uncomfortably for a while. What I would love to do would be able to be earning enough through a variety of different sources that I could outsource most of the campaign building to somebody else. Because I know how to do that part. What I want to learn how to do is how to serve people better. I want to answer more people's problems. I want to help them build their business. Oh, I know where I was going. If I go to here and I go to, that's not the right one. Where the hell is it? Oh, it's this one. And I go to her thing. So this is one of my clients from way long ago. She is running a contest every month. This is what I want you to be doing. She's building her business monthly. I don't know why all of us aren't doing this. I mean, I know why we're not doing it. We're not doing it for the same reason that I'm not doing it, because we get wrapped up in, a million other things. But if you firmly believe that this is a marathon, not a sprint, then you will be doing marketing like this. She is doing a kick-ass job, kick-horse job. And she's not adding tens of thousands of people every month. That's okay. We don't have to make the big ones. Lisa, all right, Lisa, is that a hi wave or is that a hey, I'm in wave? Let me know. Lenny says it's worth an interview with her. That's one of the things that I have thought about doing inside the mastermind, inside the movers, is to do interviews. And I do believe that there are plenty of people that would do that. Oh, Lisa, come on, make it, hi, I'm in. Raise your hand because you want to build your business. I know, sorry, Lisa. I don't know what, that's because it's in the beta. It's supposed to be able to get the facial icons. Crystal. Hi, Crystal. I didn't know you were here. Quality of list over quantity. Absolutely. Sometimes I have seen people in the upviral group say, well, I only got 150 leads. If they're not buyers, I can see that you might be disappointed. But if you spend the time to nurture those 150 people, that could be big bucks for you. Right? We go back to the several adages, by the way, of what's the value of a lead, right? The general answer in the marketing industry is $1 per lead per month. If you only get 150 leads out of a contest, you might say, well, that's not very good. Why isn't that going away? There we go. But if you do 150 leads every month, that's 1,500-ish to 2,000 by the end of the year. That's an extra $2,000 a month. But let's suppose that you're getting people that buy your $100 product. If they're really highly targeted people, which is what we want, you could close your shop. You could stop working if you had 2,000 people that paid you $100 a month. I don't know. I mean, you could stop list building, etc. It depends upon what your needs are. But if you're not doing marketing all the time, and I'm raising my hand in this, I'm failing to do my own marketing. I am miserably failing. I'm not running Facebook ads to get you into the Movers program. I'm right now only doing this kind of session. And that's okay. I don't need to be doing Facebook ads because I think what I want is the people that I've already communicated with that know, love, and trust me, or just like me maybe, and maybe they don't trust me so much yet, but they really want to build their business. Those are people I want. I know there's more than 1,000 people in my list that are business people that are trying to build their business. I should be able to easily get 20 people to sign up without going and doing Facebook ads right now, right? Right. And again, this program isn't about volume, it's about quantity. Thank you, Crystal. I want to see lots of people begging to sign up. That's what we all want, right? Anyway, does anybody have any questions while we're here? Because this is tip day. This is how to do your contests better. The first one, Crystal says, love and trust you. Thank you. I know it says live, but I assume you meant love. Rita says, I found you through Upviral Challenge. Thank you. And I really enjoyed your Facebook Lives. That's the lives. So what she's talking about is Wilco is doing a 30-day challenge, which I think is an awesome program. It's also about moving, right? So what I'm doing for Wilco has the videos. Every day a new video drops and people are learning how to do certain aspects. What I believe people need after that is me. Like Rita says, you need additional stuff. You get some skills while you're doing the 30-day challenge, and it's kind of like the T-ball example before. You go through, you learn how to hit the ball, you learn how to run to first base, then to second base, third base. Maybe you learn some throwing. But now what you need is a coach that's going to keep you going around the bases. God, I'm loving this analogy as I make it up on the fly. You get a coach to help you run around the bases faster and be able to field better and to be able to suddenly be a pitcher or a batter or whatever. That's what I want to be able to do. And the only way to do that is to be with you on a regular basis, on an ongoing basis. Will you get to the point where you don't need me? Maybe you will. That's fine. I would love to have people dropping out of the program because they don't need me anymore. But my firm belief is that I'm still learning. I'm still like this campaign where I've got the 4 different pages. It's probably not, the T-ball. This is not a first base kind of thing, but there will be people in the movers that are at the point where they know how to do all the basics and they want to step up their game. So we'll have the beginners learning the T-ball stuff. We'll have the experienced people. And those people can help the people doing T-ball, and we can all help each other, and we can look at each other's campaigns and say, well, you really should try this, or you should try that. And the fact that you got people focused on helping each other to build your marketing and run a better marketing for your business so that you can serve more people in what you know and love and trust to do. In fact, get goosebumps talking about this stuff, because that's what I really want to see happening. If people decide to leave the movers, that's fine. If they get enough that they can go off and do whatever they want to do, that's great. But I want to get you there. And when Reeta said that's where she found me, that's the perfect thing. Help you get through the initial learning, and then let's just keep going. Let's keep building. I love this, Crystal. It's best when the students meet or surpass the teacher. Absolutely. I will learn from people along the way, and I will be able to take that knowledge and pass it on to new students, right? That's the goal, is to help more people. So that's what I'm doing. That's what is the Movers program. I would love to have all of you. Crystal, Lenny's in, Reeta, I would love to have you if you're interested. I can't specifically promote inside the 30-day challenge, so I'm glad you reached over to me. I mean, that's one of the... I'm in there helping, but I'm not supposed to promote myself. I'm supposed to promote upviral. And I'm all in promoting upviral because I love the upviral tool. Just kind of hoping that some people follow over and find me like you've done. Lenny, the possibilities... I need to pay you more, Lenny. The possibilities are endless, because once you nailed it, you can help others as well. And Mitch is still a valuable asset for that too. Exactly. I mean, one of the things that I want to do is to have like a teacher, what do they call that? Teacher's teacher, that's not the word I'm looking for. But have other people do teaching, not just me. I also want to be able to have a resource of other people that could build campaigns. I want to have a list of campaigns that people are building or running so that they can get more traffic. I mean, I got all kinds of points going on here. Now, here we go. Crystal says, I'll join today. Bless your heart. I love you. Good for you. I will look for it. If you have any questions, Crystal, message me. I'm happy to talk to you about that. If you want to get on a one-on-one call to talk about things before, and part of the promise is if you want to get on a one-on-one call after, we can do that as well. Look at you. Proactive people will join today. Thanks. Thank you, Crystal, for that. It almost has a little bit of a telethon feel, doesn't it? Jerry Lewis Memorial Day, isn't it? Maybe people outside the U.S. don't get that reference, but I don't know. And again, it's not about sales. I think I could probably charge $1,000 a month for the value that I think you're going to get out of this. Because I know the Dream 100 that I'm in with Paul, easily $500, $600, $700 of value every month I get from listening to what Paul is teaching, what Paul is sharing and helping other people to solve their problems. It's all rubbing off on me because I show up for the calls and I absorb. I am constantly thinking what Tom taught me. What's in it for me? How does this... That's not the phrase, not what's in it for me. What is the phrase? How does this apply to me? Thank you for brain. Crystal says, not Jerry Lewis, please. I know. Anyway. How does this apply to me? I show up for these calls, even though I don't have a question. I show up for the calls because I want to absorb what other people are doing. Who is Paul? Paul Pruitt is the guy. He and his wife Melissa are running the Dream 100 that I talked about earlier. And if you weren't here, you missed that. But that's a program that I am currently in. We actually meet in that program. There are 2 accountability sessions, and there are 3 sessions a week that are 2 hours minimum. But they're like open office, right? It's open office hours where people come and ask questions to say, well, look, I'm thinking about launching this lead magnet. How would that work? Do I run ads to it? Do you think I should do this? Does this image evoke what I want you to? I mean, there's all kinds of different questions that happen in that. It's a general business thing. If you're interested, I can point you to the landing page. But again, that's what I'm basing some of this on. Some of the Movers program is based on that concept. Initially, I think that there will be 1 meeting a week for open office hours, because I don't think we'll have 20 people that will just show up all the time. If we suddenly have 20 people showing up every call and need more time, we'll add a session or 2 to the schedule. I don't have a problem with that, because I want to be able to serve you and get your business going. Lenny says that's exactly where a lot of the value is, to see what others are doing for inspiration, even if you don't have campaigns in mind yet. Exactly. And you guys know that I've got a ton of experience here. I've done over 100 campaigns for myself and for clients. I've trained a bunch of people, so I know what's going on. Dana Derricks, Dream 100. I think that Paul and Melissa have based their Dream 100 on something similar. I'm not very familiar with Dana Derricks' program, but I do know there's several. I mean, if you look up Dream 100, there are several programs called that. This is Paul and Melissa Pruitt. And they have multiple businesses they've been doing. They've been in photography, they've been in restaurants, they've been in marketing. Paul has owned a real estate agency where he had 6 different offices and something like 100 different real estate agents working for him. So he's got a ton of experience in helping businesses grow, and his knowledge. I've got a stack of quotes, Paul quotes in my notes that I keep during every call. He comes up with some doozies. The one that I liked the other day was he was telling somebody, they were talking about their main product, and Paul said, what you have is a movie theater with no concession stand. Right? I was like, holy crap, I love that analogy. Because they have a great movie, right? People want to come see the movie. People want to attend, but this person doesn't yet have the concession stand. And we all know that the value is in the concession stand, right? So he does these analogies. Lenny says, have you ever run a contest for these mentors? How do they generate traffic? I've never heard of them. I have not done anything for Paul and Melissa. I have offered, by the way, to run campaigns for some bigger players, and they haven't yet taken me up on it. This campaign that I'm talking about that has the 4 different pages is something that I'm going to be able to use as a case study to be able to present to people and say, oh, well, I did this for this guy, and this guy happens to know several of bigger players in the industry. And so I'm hoping that kind of rubs off into getting in front of several other bigger players. So, yeah, and the other thing that's cool about this particular project that I haven't told anybody about yet, because you guys are special, is that this is a 5-day challenge. I think I said that earlier on. But guess what? Shh. We're running the challenge with upviral. The challenge is going to have prizes. The challenge is going to have goals for them to do. The challenge is going to be tracked inside of upviral. most people haven't figured out yet that upviral could be used to track a challenge. Hi, Debbie. Welcome. Thank you for popping in, Debbie. Just so, one of the struggles that I know people have, there are challenges all over the planet. Rachel Miller has one called the 100-Day People. And I have briefly talked to her about helping her with that, but our stars haven't aligned there yet. Rachel Miller does Facebook audience growth, and her 100 Perfect People is a 5-day challenge that she charges $10 for. The problem that many people that run challenges is that they give people tasks, but nobody asks them whether or not they completed them, right? So let's say you're doing an exercise challenge. I don't know. Did you do your fitness today? Did you do your 10-mile run? Did you put on your tennis shoes today? Whatever. If you set up a challenge where they get points, they're more motivated, right? Let's suppose that if they get 1,000 points at the end of the week, and they get a bonus for getting to that level, they feel better. They're more motivated, right? So, don't tell anybody that you could use upviral for this. You set up rewards inside of upviral. Set up a point system. Say the top 10 people that earn points that get thrown into a pool to win an XYZ. Don't you think that more people are going to frickin' do the challenge? Of course they will. Lenny said 100 perfect people. Then he said 100 days is really overwhelming. Yes, this is not 100 days. Did I say 100 days? 100 perfect people is to be able to start building your Facebook page. Silly you, Lenny. Why would I document that? Who do you think owns the domain called challengerocket.com for the last year and a half? I wonder who. Yes, I'm working on this. Ryan says it needs simplification, tracking, and rewards. Yeah. But see, most people that do a challenge just throw it out there and say, hey, here's the tasks you have to do this week. And there is no incentive to complete them other than you feel better about yourself, right? You've done the things and you get a reward, and maybe at the end somebody throws you an ebook or something. But imagine if you're doing a challenge and people are actually earning points along the way. Now, there's still a bit of a trust factor, right? Because somebody could say they earned the points inside upviral and not really do it because these are custom actions. But the idea is that they're trustworthy. They're in the challenge to really do the work. And at the end, you have multiple ways of rewarding them for doing the work. Crystal says, triggers the oxytocin. Absolutely. How do you confirm they completed? That's kind of what I was just talking about. I mean, none of the systems really know that you frickin' did the work, right? What's happening, what I know, Lenny, people are doing right now is a challenge, and they have an Excel spreadsheet that they were tracking all of the people that come into the challenge and whether or not they did task XYZ. They're doing it frickin' manually. Here's a tool that will do it for them automatically. Same thing is true when tracking on the Excel spreadsheet. You don't really know that they did the work. They just told you that they did the work, and you put a checkbox in that column for Betty Lou did that. There's no proof. 99% of the time, there's no proof. Unless you go to the end. Did you really jog 10 miles on Tuesday? There's no... Show me a video that proves it, right? Whatever. Most of these things are on the honor system because the idea is that doing a challenge is that you feel better, that you are improving yourself. It's not about proof. It's about self-improvement. Thank you, Crystal. I need that quote. Those that cheat the system only cheat themselves. Correct. It's and you're not likely to be offering $10,000 in prizes at the end of this thing, so it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. Lenny says, got it. At least they reported. Correct. I mean, let's go back to the exciting machine of the day. What the hell is that called? That's the bicycle thing that everybody's so excited about. Oh, I can't come up with it. A Peloton. It has games, right? It has activities for you to complete. And yes, they can track you because you're physically sitting on the bike and doing the stuff. They can track some of those things. But they also have things that are motivational things that they can't physically track. The key is that you get people frickin' doing it. You gamify it. And if you can track it and give them, hell, you even send them just a virtual certificate that they finished something. People get excited about that. Gamification is key. Look at this thing I have on my wrist. Do you know how many gamification things where it pops up? I mean, right now, you can see that I've got my activity bars on here, tracking to see how much activity I did today. This kind of stuff is hot. And if you can do that with upviral, that's a whole new level of using upviral. And this particular project that I'm doing, guess what? We're doing a giveaway before the challenge starts, and we're doing the tracking, and we're doing it all with upviral. Why are we doing a giveaway at the beginning? Why are we doing a giveaway at the beginning? What is Rachel Miller's biggest problem with her 100-day challenge? She has to run a stink load of Facebook ads to get people in as direct leads. What if every person that signed up also referred a friend? What if every person signed up or referred 2 friends? Do you see the light bulbs going off over your head? Your light bulbs are going, wait a minute, nobody's ever done a challenge where there's prizes to get in and more prizes if you refer friends. And then you just extend it into the challenge itself. Earn points for doing the activities in the challenge. So I removed all manual reporting. I don't know what that means, Lenny. No, I haven't removed anything. There's still a leaderboard. Guess what? The points carry over from the giveaway to the challenge. Top 10 people will get some prizes at the end. AJ, bless your heart. See, AJ gets it. This is why AJ has joined the movers. AJ, I'll give you the congratulations again. Yay! Are the light bulbs going off now? This is the kind of stuff that I'm going to be sharing in the group. I'll tell people, the high level, this is what I'm doing publicly to try to get them in the group. But I'll be giving all you guys all the lessons I'm learning as I go through this process. And at the end, if you want, you will have the entire process. Won't charge you extra for it because you're a member. Addition is always better than subtraction. Thank you, Crystal. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. I still don't know what you mean by the manual reporting. Lenny. Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. What kinds of prizes do you recommend? Do the prize values increase as they do the challenge and earn more points? I'm reading ahead. Lenny's question. What kinds of prizes do you recommend? Simple, easy things. If you're talking about the challenge part, simple, easy stuff. If they get 100 points, whatever. Give them an ebook. Give them something you've already built. Give them a 1-hour class that nobody else has access to. Give them some kind of bonuses that, like Crystal just said, prizes should be correlated to ideal customers. Yeah. And this is this is the struggle that my client had this morning, because I was like, all right, you're building this challenge. What do you want people to win to get them to be your targeted people? This is always the challenge. This is the hard part. The good news is he's not going to do this just once. He's done something similar before and wants to do it again. As we get the process nailed down, the first one may not be totally successful. We may have some bugs that we need to work out. The next one will be even better. So, Lisa, that's the key. The prizes should be correlated to the target, to your avatar. Do the prizes increase? They should, kind of. But you don't have to give them prizes for every day. There's all kinds of different ways you could structure the prize idea. Like what we're doing is the top 10 people will get blah, blah, blah. Still some nuances there. I don't understand what that means. Are you saying Dana Derricks is here listening to me? Hi, Dana. I don't have feedback from the way I broadcast as to who shows up. I didn't get her here. Maybe you did, Crystal, by mentioning her. But yes, the prizes definitely should be... Oh, this is the one I wanted. Lenny said the client had no clue at the beginning when you designed it. He had an idea that... he was going to run a challenge. He had run a contest before and done poorly with it. Very poorly. And I explained to him back on April why his campaign didn't work. And so he came to me to say, look, I know you know how to do this. How would you build it? And so I said, well, if you really want to do it right, and you're willing to do a little testing and maybe failing, here's how I think you should do it. You should run a contest before the challenge starts, and then during the challenge, run another one to get people motivated to earn points, and we'll track it all with upviral. Upviral do the whole thing. He's like, what do you mean upviral do the whole thing? And we walked through it, and he's like, oh, I get it. This is going to be freaking cool. Like, yeah. I just have never had a client that was willing to walk through it with me, and I didn't, because we all get busy. I didn't build it myself to build my own business, which is what I should be doing. But now I have the process, and I have somebody that's willing to help me go through it. And if it works this time, we're going to run it in another month or 2 or 3. And if you're inside the movers, I'll give you a couple of key secrets as to why this is exciting to me on multiple fronts. But one of them has to do with the back end that I will only tell my movers. Got to have some inside stuff for my peeps, right? So again, if you happen to think about wanting to join, etc., here is the URL. Here is the URL. Oh, so it showed up and then went away. So I pressed the button multiple times. Something is wrong with my Stream Deck. There it is. Crystal said, yes, make sure the prizes meet the avatar's needs. That's the whole point. That's the thing that so many people miss. Even the client that I'm working with now, he was trying to throw prizes at me that had nothing to do with the avatar. Or that the avatar doesn't know they need until after you teach them that they need it. Right? Coaches have this problem. Coaches say, well, I'll just give away an hour of my time. And I say, who the hell are you? And they go, well, I've got a small following. And I'm like, okay, Who's going to sign up for your frickin' thing if nobody knows who you are? If you're Tony Robbins, I have Tony Robbins' book right there. One of his books, that gold one. Tony Robbins could get a stink load of people to want to spend an hour with him. Incredibly valuable prize. But a coach that is, let's say, Crystal or Lenny or any of you people that are coaches, and you say, well, I'm going to give away 2 hours of my time. Nobody cares because they don't know you. And I'm sorry they don't know you. They will know you later on. So what you have to do is you have to find a prize that attracts your people. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always work the first time, which is why, blah, blah, blah. I said this before. This is a marathon. Come on. There it is. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Your first campaign may not be the ideal campaign. That's okay. The first time you walk up to the tee in T-ball, I bet you missed the damn ball. Sorry, little kids. It's funny, right? We love to admire their willingness to try something and miss. And yet when we do it ourselves, we beat ourselves up and say, oh, well, that sucked. I didn't do that very well. I'm going to go do something else. I'm going to be an ice skater. Just stick with the frickin' T-ball until you know how to do it right. That's when the money starts rolling in. I mean, I've been teaching this for 4 years. I have been doing this for clients for 4 years. I didn't know how to do it right the first time. I tell you, I give you a clue. For those of you who are still sticking around, bless your hearts, each and every one of you. What do you think my first contest that I did, and I looked this up not too long ago, was 10 years ago in May. 10 years ago in May. AJ, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Catch you on the co-pilot show tomorrow. I appreciate you. 10 years ago in May, I did my very first contest. I was running a brand new photography forum. I had a website, a blog that was doing really well. I decided to do a contest to announce that I was opening up a new photography forum to talk about photography gear. What did Mitch give away? 10 years ago in May, what did Mitch give away to a group of photography people? Anybody got a clue? I know some of you probably heard me tell this story before. I gave away an iPad. I did. I confess. It was the most miserable failure I have done in quite a while. I don't have a clue why I decided that. Oh, I do. I do now. It's because the iPad was brand new. It was hot. It was a new thing on the market. Didn't have anything to do with photography. Those people did not stick around. I gave the wrong offer. So there you go. Yes, they still have a use for photography. iPads are certainly a prize, and they are related, but it wasn't really totally in the ballpark. I would have been better off giving away a camera, or a tripod, or a package for a new photographer or something. I was way too far off base. Way too far off base. I didn't realize what I just said. I'd go back to the T-ball analogy. Off base. Get it? Could be off base like in a lunar platform. All right. Thank you for tuning in. I think that you guys aren't asking me questions. It's okay. But I do have some things I got to go do. And I'm supposed to be on a call with my accountability partner right now. So I'm going to go talk to her. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you have any interest in joining the movers, let me know. I'll be happy to chat with you about that. I don't have a deadline, but I do have a deadline in that I'm going to cap it at 20. So I don't think you should delay. We're still early. We still have openings, but let me know. Thanks for tuning in. I will catch you tomorrow on the upviral co-pilot show, which is at 10 a.m. Eastern. I will catch you on Wednesday, same time right here, to do a contest review, which is something that we're going to be doing a lot of inside the movers. Let me put that up one more time. If you're interested, go there and read more about what I'm doing. I will catch you again very soon. Thanks, and I will see you tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, Mitch, do you hear yourself?
That's a great piece of advice.
Bye! Bye, everybody!
Bye.
Bye.
I had a fun time. Now turn that off.